Each day, firefighters put their lives on the line for us.
When you go home at the end of your shift and you know you've touched somebody's life, it's probably the most rewarding thing you could imagine.
And they ask so little in return.
We're not greedy. There's no way by any means that we're rich off the salary. We're making a good living, an honest living, and a lot of us are fulfilling our dreams and helping people and doing what more or less we were called to do.
And they want security for their families, who worry whether or not they'll come home after every shift.
Me and my wife have an agreement that I give her a hug and a kiss in the morning, knowing that with the dangers of the job as a firefighter, I might not come home.
We fight fires together, we live together, and we die together. We've unfortunately buried far too many of our brothers, and we mourn together.
They also want the security to pay their bills once they're forced to retire at the age of 65.
It's a worry for myself and my wife to wonder if we're going to be able to provide for our children. We don't want to live rich. We just want to live a normal life.
It's fearful for my wife and family, along with every other fire and police personnel in the state's family.
That's why New Jersey firefighters and police put 8.5% of their weekly paycheck, the highest in the nation, into a secure pension fund, with the promise that their monies will be joined by contributions from the cities and towns where they risk their lives. Firefighters and police rely on this fund. They trust it. They need it, where many firefighters are not eligible for full Social Security. For nearly 80 years, it's been police and firefighters' primary safety net, until the state of New Jersey borrowed from it to balance the state's budget.
How would you feel if you put money into a bank and that banker decided not to give you money back, or better still, not to give you the interest?
We're expected to have enough there, God forbid, should something happen to us, and then I'm no longer there to be able to provide for my wife and my 2 kids.
They actually stole from us.
Then the state went further and passed a law allowing government to take a pension holiday, relying on returns from the stock market boom to cover their required pension contributions. For 8 years, the gamble was successful. Then the stock market turned.
Doing that, which they did to help the budget in a false way, was deceptive.
And now that the holiday is over, some leaders within the cities and towns have turned their back on the firefighters and police.
It's a shame that the public has not been told the entire truth through this whole thing. The towns knew that they were going to have to be making these payments. They knew it to a point where they said, please, allow us to only contribute 20%. And they passed the law, and then 40%, and then 60%, and then 80%. And now next year, when 100%'s due, they're acting as if they never knew that this was coming.
Citizens are being told that those increments of 20, 40, and 60% are doubling and tripling their obligation. This, in fact, is only slowly paying back a debt that they truly owe.
And what is owed to them is nothing more than honor, commitment, and the promise of security. The same honor and commitment we expect them to give us, even when it costs them their own lives. The firefighters have never abandoned us.
And if there's one thing that legislators got right in this whole mess is no matter what they do, no matter how they try to mess with us or lower our benefit or our standard, we're still going to show up and we still care. And that's what hurts, because now they're taking advantage of us because we care for the community. They don't care for us.
The firefighters and police are grateful to the legislators who have honored their commitment, but many legislators have not. And they continue to mislead the public that the finest and bravest of our state are somehow responsible for the state's financial crisis.
They're blaming us for that bill. And it's actually them. They should have saved that money. They knew they had to pay.
The abusers of the pension system are the very legislators who are attacking the career police and firefighter.
to even suggest that there should be further tampering with it to make it unstable would be not only illegal but tragic.
They can find other ways to do what they have to do without coming into our pension.
The trust between the firefighters and the legislators in the state of New Jersey has definitely been broken.
A broken trust that is leaving New Jersey firefighters and police feeling abandoned. A broken trust that can only be repaired with honesty, mutual respect, and face-to-face collaboration.
Firefighters need to be at the table to discuss that.
Firefighters and police ask only for the funding to do their jobs and the peace of mind that while they're out protecting our families, government will not abandon theirs.
My wife and children have stood by me throughout my 27-year career. My brother and sister firefighters throughout the state of New Jersey have stood by me. Now it's time for the legislators in the state of New Jersey to stand by all firefighters in the state of New Jersey.
I'm asking them to be honorable. I'm asking them to have integrity. And I'm asking them to uphold their end of the bargain. Do what you promised to do.